Hi, I'm Melissa Ann, and this is Much Love by Mel, which is essentially a collaboration of all the things that I love to do in order to help other people with relation to health, wellness, and business. And a quick overview, I served the military as a medic in the Army right out of high school. I received my personal training certification and health coaching certification in 2021. But I have always been a huge advocate of health and wellness, to the point in elementary school and junior high, I was creating blueprints for a health and wellness bakery meets gym setup because I wanted to be a baker. But here we are now. It's okay. I have not opened the gym and bakery, but that's okay. I also am a huge advocate for business. With regard to the business side, I got my marketing degree in 2017. But I have been in business since really forever if you count babysitting. I was marketing myself to people. But I started photography shortly after leaving the military and then got into branding and website design. I've always been a huge fan of branding and website design because I did this thing called Neopets when I was little and did Harry Potter guilds, and we always wanted to be the best and most popular. And so I was huge into creating graphics back when you could just download off of certain websites. And now you have to pay for subscriptions to Photoshop and all that stuff. But anyway, I've always been a huge diehard for business, especially after having my son, because I realized I just didn't have the flexibility that I wanted as a mom with a normal 9-to-5 job. And even more so once I became a widow, and really just even before that, when I was just balancing everything on my own and realized how hard it was going to be for me to have the flexibility with a 9-to-5 job without, one, feeling guilty, and two, having people make me feel guilty. And so I knew that I wanted to pursue business on my own, even if it meant I wasn't going to be making as much money right away. I knew that the flexibility was so important to me. And so that also ties into health and wellness, in my opinion, because a lot of people get into business either because they're not neurotypical or they're, neurospicy, or they're parents, or they're just looking for passive income or additional revenue streams. Maybe they love their 9-to-5 job, but they want additional income. And so I'm a huge advocate for business and starting business, whether that is full-time business, part-time business, just for fun business. So Much Love by Mel is a collaboration of all things health, wellness, and business. I mentioned before that I do have my personal training and health coaching certification. I'm also really big on mental well-being. If you've seen some of my other videos, you saw that I was back and forth between a master's in social work and then a master's in military and first responder psychology, and ultimately ended up withdrawing from both programs because I realized that I needed to be able to, one, be more flexible with my child, and two, I just didn't have the opportunity to work for free for 15 hours every week. And so with that, I decided that, I can still be in the realm of coaching and not have a master's degree. Yes, having a master's degree and all of your certifications and all of the things are great for the corporate world. I realized that I can still provide value and share about mental health topics without needing to have my master's degree or my doctoral, and that my own personal life experiences and how I've been able to move forward, or the 50 million books that I have relating to mental health and psychology to some degree, are able to be beneficial to the world. So that is a quick overview of this channel and my goals moving forward. I have so many mental health books that I want to discuss, and discussing nutrition, intuitive eating, different ways to get exercising, and tips and tricks for business and starting a business, which that part will be more so on the Branded Academy. And I have it linked to this account. So you should be able to go to one of the tabs on my YouTube channel and find the Branded Academy. So there's gonna be where all of my business tips and tricks are gonna be at. But yeah, that's that's all I really have for you today. Thank you for following. I also have had a lot of people check in with me about what my status was with my master's program. And ultimately, I decided that I'm going to stick with just being a coach. And I say just being a coach lightly. And the reason behind that is I chose to be an entrepreneur because I wanted the flexibility to also be a mom. I wanted us to be able to travel. I wanted to be able to choose when I was working and how long I was working. And I wanted to be able to take care of my kid, you know? I'm also homeschooling my son now, and so that is a huge added responsibility that I'm still figuring out. I'll probably also talk about homeschooling periodically on this channel, but as I got closer and closer to my interning, I just realized it just was not feasible for my life. Like, I was going to be losing so much money or just mentally not be in the best place trying to balance working my freelance jobs, taking care of my child, homeschooling him, paying somebody to watch my kid throughout the week so I could get my 15 hours of intern every week. And it just wasn't feasible for the lifestyle that I have currently. And really, it's just expensive. It's expensive to pay for a sitter, like $20 an hour on average for a sitter. And to do that while not making any money from interning just was not possible for me. Maybe later down the line, I'll decide to go and pursue it again. But right now, I would much rather just stick with being trauma informed rather than going and getting the degree. Truth be told, I wish that you could just like go and take the certification or the national exams. And if you can pass, you can pass. Like, that would be great. But I understand that there's a whole process and money making to be done. So I get it. But that's kind of a quick overview of my decision and where I stand right now. I am grateful for the classes that I took, but at the same time, I was kind of disappointed with a lot of the master's programs because it's all you applying. So it's me looking for the research, me writing about the research, and then just getting reviewed on how well I did with doing my research. And for me, especially being entrepreneurial minded, I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be spending $500 per credit hour to have somebody say, yeah, you did a good job, keep pursuing this degree, and then you can eventually take the exams and eventually go work towards becoming a practicing social worker or working towards your licensure and things like that. And this is not to go against any social worker or therapist or counselor. I'm super appreciative of everyone who's out there doing that. I just realized for me and my lifestyle and my story, that was just not going to be the case for me. So I will be prioritizing trauma-informed coaching. It doesn't mean that that's going to be the only types of clientele that I'm taking on, but I will be sharing about mental health and mental well-being and discussing kind of like the cliff notes, if that's still a thing. I don't know if people still don't know what cliff notes are, but doing cliff notes of the different mental health books that I read and some of my key takeaways from it, and maybe expanding on it from my own experience or from client experience and things like that. But again, as a whole, Much Love by Mel is a collaboration of all the ways that I like to help people, and that is health, wellness, and business. So I'm excited. It's time for me to finally start showing up, which I will definitely be going over that because I keep like starting and like posting a couple videos and then I get scared, or I'm like, oh, I'm not getting all the likes that I want, or I'm not getting the views that I want. And I have to remind myself that consistency is key no matter what you're doing, whether that's exercising or eating well or just life in general. Like, consistency is key. And so that is all I have for you. So thanks so much.